Welcome back to story time. Let's go ahead and jump right into the video. Where we had last left off, the team finally got the ship situated and we had a little bit of downtime, so the guy and the kid decided to get some surgery done. While the guy's surgery went off without a hitch, the kid had one of his very angry enemies show up partway through his surgery and saying that he'd be in touch. During that time, the guy was still recovering and went out to go grab some extra armor. A quick shopping trip soon turned hostile as Smith and Western turned. Not impressed with the group's performance, they had written up a contract that they bullied the guy into taking, and he had a couple of days to think about it. Upon returning to the ship, he clued Joanna in on his encounter with Smith and Western. Once the kid returns from surgery, they turn in for the night. They are awakened the next morning by a loud banging on the outside of the ship, which they find out is a small group of armed men outside the ship, and we'll pick up from there. The team obviously starts to freak out at the sight of armed people outside of their ship, since currently only one of us is able-bodied. I don't 100% remember what happens on this part. I just know some point Joanna ends up outside the ship and is fucking beating their asses, talking like critting left and right, and she took out two of them. The two start pleading with her like, come on, we're just doing our job. Please, can you just come with us? As far as we know, the guy who wants the little one just wants to talk. Joanna begrudgingly agrees to go with them, mainly because she has two injured teammates who are still on the ship that she's technically protecting, and the fact that both of them are armed with shredders. So happy fun times. People end up picking up their one teammate who isn't completely maimed, while Joanna gets me and the guy outside. At some point, the kid did get involved in the fight. I don't remember exactly what he did, but I know he got knocked unconscious, so they're carrying him. They lead us across the small town to a warehouse where I'm assuming Dick Chambers was set up. And as you guessed, whenever we got there, he didn't want to talk and we were promptly put into jail cell. The kid was put in a jail cell by himself while Joanna and the guy were in a cell together. The kid is finally woken up as he's thrown across the room and lands on the bed inside the jail cell. The laser grid turns on in front of the jail cell. Dick Chambers walks and stands directly outside the cell.
I finally caught you, you tiny little menace.
And what the fuck do you want?
I want you to fix this fucking mess that you made.
Not my fault your name's stupid. You realize at any point you could have just went and changed your name, and this probably would have been avoided.
I'm fine. I'm calm. You're in a cell. Don't have much to worry about. As I said, you're going to fix this mess. I don't know how. I don't fucking care. You're going to fix it.
Whatever you say, testicles, you're the boss.
He ends up storming off after that, leaving me alone. Like, there's nobody outside the cell guarding me or anything. So obviously I instantly get to work on escaping. Two in the other cell are not really prisoners, or at least that's what they tell them. Their cell is a lot nicer than mine. Like, they have a TV and everything, but they still also have the laser grid in front of their cell, so they can't just leave. And after the guards brief them on what's going to happen, they kind of just go on patrolling the facility, also leaving them unguarded. Back to me in my jail cell. I find what looks to be an air vent in my cell and start getting to work on opening it up so I can just crawl through the ventilation shaft to just get out. However, upon prying off the door, there is a fucking flamethrower in the vents that activates. The kid scrambles on the other side of the room, attempting to push over the heavy bed to block some of the flames so that he doesn't get melted alive in this room. I barely pass the check and get the bed flipped over, and it ends up blocking like the corner of the room, while the rest of the room is a giant blazing inferno. Back in the other cell, the guy rips the TV that's attached to the wall off. Our DM has him roll a strength check, and as you would guess, he rolls ridiculously high. He ends up pulling the TV so hard that he actually rips off a portion of the wall, exposing the wires inside the wall, and chucks the TV that hits the laser grid and gets cut into like a couple small pieces as it lands outside the cell, clanking into the ground loudly. The guards end up hearing the loud crash from down the hall and come back to investigate and see there's a gaping hole in the wall.
Dude, come on. We gave you guys a nice cell, and you destroyed the TV. Well, now we have to tell the boss he has to replace the TV now.
As they start to walk off, Joanna quickly reaches into the hole, grabs a bunch of random wires, and kind of just connects them. Obviously, it shocks the hell out of her, so she takes a little bit of damage and short circuits the laser grid. As the grid goes down, the guards turn around. Oh fuck. The guy rushes out of the cell and punches one of the guys so hard that he flies into the metal wall and dents it. He goes to punch the other one and a laser just barely misses his head. He looks down the hallway and there's about 4 other people coming to join in on the fray, and one of them is a lady about as big as he is, armed with a laser rifle. Back with the kid while all this is going on, he's still stuck in the corner while the raging inferno pours throughout the room while he tries to come up with a plan. He ends up deciding to use his combat knife to pry up one of the metal floor panels. It took every bit of strength that he had and nearly broke his knife, but he got the panel up, and as he suspected, there were the wires for the cell underneath. He doesn't even try to guess which one is which and just kind of grabs a giant chunk of them and cuts all of them. The half of the building that he is on ends up losing power as a result of it. So the laser grid goes off, but the flamethrower keeps doing its thing. Apparently it's not run on electricity, and it was kind of just a trap set up for if he tried to go into the ventilation system. To get past the fire, he ended up just slowly pushing the bed across the room and blocked the hole where the fire was spewing out of and just left the cell. Back with the others, the lady readies another shot. She takes aim, and the guard that was picking himself off the floor after getting walloped into the wall by the guy is vaporized instantly as she misses horribly. Fighting continues. The guy beats somebody to death with a door. Another guy tries to pick up the rifle as the lady throws it down since she can't aim it right and ends up killing himself with the rifle. And ultimately we come out on top. A little beat up, but we're not dead. Regroup, the team ends up finding their weapons that were confiscated, and we make our way to the last room down the hallway where all the guys came from. As we get towards the end of it, a mist starts making its way down the hallway as well, and as it makes contact with our bodies, it slowly starts to harden, seeming to be a less concentrated version of what petrified me before. We quickly make our way to the end of the hall where the door is, and Guy practically rips the door off the hinges as we make our way in what appears to be a control room, and the guy sitting at the control goes to rush us. I slide past him as Joanna and the guy take care of him, and I run after Dick Chambers as I see him rush through a door into the next room. I jump through a window to cut him off as he keeps running and end up tackling him. I take more damage because I just jumped through a window. Seemed like a good idea at the time, and it kind of was because I did tackle him. And then the most pathetic fight in existence ever ensues. I have like 5 bajillion negatives because I'm recovering from surgery. I'm not that strong to begin with, and I just escaped a room that was on fire. The fight essentially was just us rolling around on the ground, punching each other, barely doing any damage, but it ended up wasting enough time for Joanna and the guy to come over with their twin shredders. They both order him to let go of me as they aim their shredders at him.
Whoa, 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 let's, not be hasty. What did you expect me to do? That little shit ruined my entire life. And I finally track him down. You expect me to play nice?
Get the gas turned off and we can possibly talk. By this time, the kid's already gotten to his feet and is trying to turn the gas off himself.
No, fucking shoot him. We don't need to talk. I can get the gas turned off myself.
It's not going to be as easy as you think it is. I have to approve everything with my handprints that gets activated around here.
Well, where's the main controls to turn them off?
They're in the office down the hall.
Well, start walking. I'm coming behind you.
They start making their way to the door on the other side of the room, and as they approach the door, he quickly slams the door shut behind him, locking Joanna and the guy out. Make quick work busting the door back down with their shredders.
No, don't kill me, I was just scared!
Fucking kill him.
And they unload into him, leaving behind a shredded, pulpy mess on the floor. Ultimately, like he said, we needed his handprint to turn off the gas, so we kind of just had to leave and couldn't loot the place, so we made our way back to the ship. The kid added one more thing to the order that he was waiting on: flame retardant clothes, because he would be damned if he got stuck in a flaming room again. Firewall had finally gotten back to us, telling us the location that Dr. Pierre probably would be at next, since he did still have the book and we kind of needed it. He informed us he was going to be at a party on Earth's moon, Luna, so we charted a course for Luna and headed out. Next episode will be out on Monday. This episode was a little bit longer. There wasn't really a good place to stop and then pick back up for next episode. Either way, you guys can follow me on Twitter at JarofWizard and on Tumblr at the exact same handle. If you enjoyed the video, go ahead and leave a like, a comment, maybe subscribe, maybe share it with your dog. I don't know. You beautiful people have a nice day. Bye.